Creative team here too. A lot of pressure. Great to be open in SEC play. Always tough to start out on the road. First road game of the year. We know that Vanderbilt and Coach Lee present some unique challenges. Have a lot of respect for Coach Lee and what he's accomplished there at Vanderbilt so far. The work he's done for that program, the excitement he's built, obviously the investments that they've made into that program and developing it speak to the type of leadership he has and the commitment he has to Vanderbilt. I think his players are a direct reflection of that. His ability to connect to those players, connect to the mission. I think he's done an outstanding job. Obviously, we've had two very difficult games against him the past two contests, both into the fourth quarter, and offensively had to make a drive down there 2 years ago, and last year had to have a 4th-and-1 stop to secure the victory. Their offensive scheme is very challenging. They have some really talented players. I think their wide receiver groups is as good as anybody in the SEC. Obviously, I think Will Shepherd is an all SEC caliber wide receiver and plays at a high level. He's got elite ball skills, ability to make catch in traffic, create separation. Their quarterback, A.J. Swan, has very good accuracy, sits in the pocket, can deliver the football all over the field, and I know he's been a little bit beat up, but they have capable backups. Kenny Sills started out here 3 years ago against us, so know that they have a deep quarterback room. Defense is very multiple in both coverage and blitz schemes and fronts. They play very aggressive, have a lot of experience, have a lot of players back. Their nickel, C.J. Taylor, who changed from number 13 to number 1, single-handedly almost beat us by himself last year, leaping over our running back and sacking our quarterback, picking it up for a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So we know that they have very capable players, and I know that they're going to have their best shot ready for us at home. So, we have to control the things that we can control. Obviously, their stadium is under construction, and it's going to be a challenge with the new locker room setups and just the whole new uniqueness of that. So we're certainly going to have a great week of practice and concentrate and have a great amount of focus and play our best ball as we open SEC. It's always tough to play on the road in this league. From an injury update, Darius Robinson is going to be questionable this week from injury in the game, and we'll see how that goes. Kai Miller will be out this week, and then Luther and Brady are both questionable as of today. Both will be limited at practice, and even if they are available, we'll see. So that's where that's at, and with that, I'll open it up for questions.
What's kind of your message to your team about being ranked, not outside the walls, but kind of inside the walls of your program?
Yeah, our goal wasn't to be ranked. Our goal is to play for a championship, and this week is to be 1-0. And so, all that really is just noise to us. We don't get caught up in it either way.
It looks like A.J. Swan's carrying a questionable designation this weekend. So how does the defensive team last week just prepare for maybe both him and Kenzie?
They're similar style quarterbacks. Ken has come in and played both in the UNLV game and played in the last drive of the Kentucky game. We saw him for an entire game here 3 seasons ago. So he's an experienced quarterback. He was very highly recruited coming out of high school. Started an entire year. So I don't think much will change as far as their style of play. They do have another quarterback that presents some challenges in the run game that we have to be prepared for. Obviously, K-State brought in a running quarterback and created some yardage that way. They have that obviously in their game plan from their previous quarterback who transferred to Mississippi State. So I think as staff, we have to be prepared for a running style quarterback, which we can go back and film and evaluate some of the things that the coordinator has done in his past. But as far as the game plan, I mean, you still are going to have to defend those wide receivers. They've got an RPO style run game. They have a variation in their run scheme, so I don't think it'll change that much.
Coach, we talked about struggles after the game over the last couple of games. And
On which side of the ball?
I'm sorry, on offensive side.
Okay, yep.
Offensive side of the ball. I checked earlier, and it seems like the last couple of games where guys are ranked around 39 is the average distance. How do you guys kind of like shorten that up and get to 30 manageable situation?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely on the right track. That's the same thing we're researching. A lot of the issues become on penalties. The drives that we have penalties put us behind the chains, and then we're not able to get back into a manageable down and distance. So those are things that are under our control. We had several false starts. We had a personal foul penalty. We had a sack on a second down drop back pass that all related, resulted in us having long third downs that we weren't able to convert. So we've got to do a better job with the things that we can control.
There was some high praise of Jordan Harris after last game. Will we be seeing more time on the field moving forward?
Yeah, I thought he played quite a bit this past weekend. So, yeah, I would. Brett Norfleet is questionable to be back. We'll see how practice goes this week. But I think Jordan's earned the right to continue to play, which is what he's been doing.
Eli, obviously you mentioned the Vanderbilt receiver room. With Ennis and everything like that, how is Ennis progressing, and how do you think your DBs will match up kind of against that kind of the trio that they have of receivers?
Yeah, we'll see how Ennis practices today and tomorrow and make a decision moving forward. Obviously, we want to put his best interest ahead of everything and don't want to further injure himself. I anticipate he was a full participant in yesterday's walkthrough, so we'll just see how his injury responds today, going full speed in practice. It's going to be a really difficult challenge. I mean, those guys are really talented, really good. I think Jaden McGowan is extremely fast. He's got shiftiness, quickness off the ball. I think London Humphreys is the leading yardage per catch in the SEC. So he's got a ability to extend the ball vertical, and then Will is as good as anybody in this league at 50-50 balls, back shoulder fades. So it's going to be a real challenge, not just for the corners, but also the nickel. Dalen Carnell and Trevez are going to have to really, they're going to get matched up on slots, and then our safeties are going to have to do a better job than we have been providing help. A couple of times where we're getting back shouldered, we're supposed to be in two-man, and our safety's not over the top to make that play. So we got to do a lot better in the pass defense, and we know that and need to work on it this week.
Jaden McGowan's one of those receivers. He's also a kick returner. Vanderbilt kind of showcases a pretty good special teams unit. How important is that going to be, and how much of an emphasis are you putting on it this week?
Yeah, it's a team responsibility. We haven't really played up to our full potential on special teams yet. We've had glimpses of being successful there, but haven't put it all together. Jaden had really the difference in the game with the kickoff return for a touchdown versus Hawaii. So our coverage teams have got to be really good. Will Shepard, I believe, is their punt returner. So they're putting their best players back, and we're going to have to cover kicks at a high level. And that'll be a challenge for us this week.
You mentioned the struggles on third down offensively already. You guys also are kind of struggling in the money downs on defense. What have you guys diagnosed as the problem there, and what steps are you taking to be more productive in that category?
Yeah, there's a variety of issues but it comes down to us executing our assignments, coaches making the assignments more clear so that we can play with less confusion and more aggression. We got to stay in our rush lanes. We got to cover better in man-to-man. When we mix up coverages and get to a zone cover, we got to make sure we're matching in our zones. The challenge for us is to figure out what is our identity going to be on third down and stick to it, and not be as much of hodgepodge kind of pick 'em. Let's figure out what we're going to be good at and get good at it.
Coach, on that man coverage issue, is that something that's an execution issue, or are there scheme changes, or what are you kind of looking for as far as the fix there?
I think it's more technique and fundamentals and making sure that when we have a man, we have our eyes where they're supposed to be and not get caught looking in the backfield. I think too many times we're trying to make a play outside of the scheme. You got to do your job. It's guys wanting to make plays, but you make plays by doing your job within the scheme and doing it well, doing the little things really well. And we just, in man-to-man coverage, we haven't been doing that.
Coach, you said after the last game that you felt like you needed to get Marquise Johnson the ball a little bit more. Is the plan to continue involving him heavily in the offense, even if it's just stretching the field?
Yep. Yeah, we plan on getting him more. I mean, I said we need to get him more involved in the game. I think he ended up with maybe 13 snaps, had obviously one reception, and then had a carry on the reverse. But, I think too much is made about, hey, when he's in the game, we got to force somebody the ball. We just need to get him in the flow of the game. And, the play doesn't care who makes it on either side of the ball, right? So there's going to be times where the quarterback is going to go through a progression, it's going to get back to the check down, and that's going to be the play that needs to be made. So we don't want to get to this point where we're on this play, this guy has to touch the ball. We just want to make sure that, all 5 eligibles are running their route, have the ability to catch the ball. If they put us in a certain matchup, then obviously we KYP it, know your personnel, what's your best matchup, and attack it. But this team's going to run a variety of coverages. There's going to be a lot of disguise. So we can't focus and say, hey, this guy's going to get the ball in this play. Everybody's got to be detailed, disciplined, and unselfish in the pass game, and the quarterback's got to make the right read and put the ball where it's supposed to go.
Mentioned, I think a couple times recently, the way Brady has toughed through a lot and how that's the team's following that. How important is you see the kind of personality of this group come together? How important is his leadership been and the rest of the team kind of taking the cues from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brady's as tough a quarterback as I've been around. I've been around some really good quarterbacks. I mean, honestly, there was no way in my mind I thought Monday or Tuesday he was playing in that game. I mean, he could barely walk. But in his mind, there was zero chance that he wasn't playing. And so his mindset, he lived here, I mean, pretty much 16 hours a day. He takes online classes. He was doing online work in the training room, making sure he could do everything he could to play. And I just think our team saw that. Like, it means so much to him. And then, I mean, he took a big hit at halftime, and I wasn't quite sure he was going to come back in the second half. And then he just goes out there and leaves it all on the field. I think he makes the scramble right there that ends up making 4th and 1. And, I mean, our team sees that. Obviously, I think the number one requirement of being an elite quarterback is toughness, both mental and physical. And I think he's displayed those characteristics. Our team's not perfect, but I do think we're tough. I mean, we are a group of fighters now. I mean, you look at these last 3 games that we've had to win in the fourth quarter. It ain't always pretty. I mean, 3rd downs, 4th downs on either side of the ball are not where they need to be, but you can't question their heart or their grit and their toughness. And when they have to make a play, both sides of the ball are doing it. And I think that's a reflection of leadership, and it's a reflection of our captains. I mean, Tyron Hopper, Chad Bailey, Javon Foster, Cody Schrader, Darius Robinson, and Brady Cook are tough young men who are committed to this team, and I think that's a good start.
When you talk about, playing Brady, and you've had these close games and, one possession games you guys have come out on top of them, how does that help you moving into SEC play that you guys have been there and seen that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can always lean back in confidence. They're all really good situations to be in. And your team knows how to execute under pressure. I mean, one of our tenets of our team is to play well under pressure, and we've been in those situations for 3 straight weeks, and that's been good for us. And it just gives you confidence that you can do that. Obviously, the SEC is a lot of one-possession games, a lot of fourth-quarter games, a lot of battles back and forth, and we're going to have to rely on these experiences to get us through. And these experiences, you can try to replicate them all you want in practice, but until you have to face that with the emotion of the game, with the crowd, with the realities of the wins or the loss is going to happen, and you got to make a play. I think it's experience is the best teacher.
Dre Norwood left the game late last week in what seems like a lot of pain. What is his status? And if he's not able to go, are you still planning, or is the team still planning on rolling JC Carlisle down to the corner position?
Drayden is questionable also, I would say. I mean, he was a participant in practice yesterday. Questionable for us is 50-50. It's all going to depend on how he responds. I'll have a better update Thursday on where that is. That was an emergency situation because we're actually rolling him down at corner because of our third down package where we take a corner and slide him into the slot nickel. So, we were down we're really down 3 corners because of Shamar McNeil being out too. So we were able to just slide JC to corner, still move KAD to the slot nickel, and then let Marcus Clark play the field nickel or the field corner. So it worked out. We'll see how that goes today.
Eli, what did you see from Chad Bailey kind of his return from injury?
Just a second. My wife sent me a. Sorry, she's trying to call me. Could be an emergency. It's not. Chad, I think, has been doing good. I think you can tell he's still a little bit rusty as far as speed of the game and physicality of the game. It was really good to see him in the run fits. I think he's always really solid there. We got to be better blitzing the quarterback when he's blitzing. So we've got to put him in some more competitive situations this week just to continue to ramp up the physicality of playing. A guy who's missed all of fall camp in the first 3 games. We're just still progressing him back. But I'm really proud of the way he's fought back through injury and obviously still a leader. And it's good to get him going as we get back into SEC play because we're really going to need him.
Coach, teams are 12-12 in the red zone, and they've had 8 touchdowns on it. How do you kind of get more feel of that? Is there a specific change you guys got to do in the red zone?
Yeah, we got to cover our guys man to man. 4 of those 8 touchdowns are busted assignments in man-to-man coverage. Yeah, it's not good. It's not where we want to be, and that's what we've talked to our team about. We're a long way from a perfect football team, and we really got to improve in these areas in a hurry.
And then Luther Franklin this weekend, who you looking at so far?
We've got Daniel Blood to be back. Obviously, Mookie can slide into the slot. Marquise can play at the outside receiver. Josh Manning can play at the outside receiver. So, that's a really deep room, and I know Coach Peeler will have a plan for us.
Anything else, Coach? Thank you all.
All righty, thank you all.